today. Oh man, our mission, for those of you that aren't familiar, is to flip the script of the stinking thinking that we have. Change the conversation you're having about yourself, with yourself, and step into your purpose. And we do that by bringing guests on like today's guest. Man, I want to tell you, set up, close the doors, call your friends. For those of you out there that are looking for something that's going to change the way you're feeling, change the way you're thinking, give you some energy to do something different in your day, and sit down and be part of this conversation with Geoff today. Because, man, I was just chatting with the guest before the show. She guys, oh boy, she's been here before. You guys showed her a lot of love, so do the same thing again, right? Because we want to be on conversations with Geoff. We want to be that voice that gives you empowering tools and solutions, right? Guests come in from all over the world and they share their experiences learned and the lessons earned, or lessons earned and the experiences learned, however you want to say it, right? They come in here and then drop the nuggets that anybody that's willing to do something different, anybody that is open to change can step in to that space and do something different in their life. So I encourage you, man, if you're out there looking for something to help you stop that stinking thinking, be honest. We had a little bit of stinking thinking today. I know I did, right? I mean, I deal with it every day, right? So it's an exercise. And these tools that our speakers leave you, and like today, we're going to talk about turning pressure into purpose. We all go through pressure, right? And why personal development is the most powerful investment. And the third thing, what it takes to grow without burnout and expand your capacities. So yeah, I'm reading. Expand your capacity so you can step into yourself. Good thing I have these notes, so we'd be here forever, right? So anyway, I want to tell you, I'm looking over here to the camera because I got a note on something that might be important. An error occurred on LinkedIn. This is really temporary. Wait a minute, then try again. Okay, so anyway, doesn't impact the show, so we're going to keep moving forward. So let me just tell you about our guest, right? She is a speaker, an author, a mastermind creator. And man, she's got something to tell you that happened 2 years ago from this day. This young woman is nothing but pure fire. And the message that she speaks, everybody, I don't care where you are in your life, can take something away from someone that's vulnerable, kind, and sincere about her purpose. So let me just stop talking and bring to the stage my friend, and our next guest, Candice Bailey.
Yes, Geoff.
Whoa. What's up, superstar? How you doing?
We're good. Thank you so much once again, Mr. Comeback King himself.
Yeah.
It's always a good time to be a part of your world and be able to have conversations that really matter.
Yes.
And Geoff, you I think you and God have something with dates and times, because every time we come to have a conversation and you say, hey Candice, we have to have another conversation, it so happens to align with something that is really meaningful in my entire journey.
Yeah.
And Geoff, today is actually 2 years since I've landed in this country, the United States of America, with no clue what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
With a ministry and a movement, a book, so many different things, and so many lives that I've met that I never thought that I would have gotten the opportunity to meet, especially you. So we get to have conversations and make connections, and I just want to be sharing some gratitude for this moment right now.
Yeah. I got goosebumps here, because
I know we don't have cake or anything, but we celebrated.
Yeah, and it's not just 2 years, but tell us what the real hit is around the 2 years. You weren't just coming here exploring. There was something else that happened today that only you can tell. Tell us what that is.
Yeah, I embrace the stretch. I embrace the stretch of opening up myself to not just a new relationship, but a new life with someone. I came here as a girlfriend and I became a fiance and then a wife.
Ooh.
If like I wish the flight attendant on the plane 2 years ago would just whisper to me, hey, by the way, I don't know how I got this information, but you're gonna get married soon. So just buckle up because it's going to be an interesting ride, an interesting roller coaster. I hope you're prepared and I hope you're ready because yeah, I don't think you'll be seeing your family or anybody that is close to you that you love
Mm,
anything up your comfort zone anytime soon.
yeah.
And had somebody tell me that, I don't know, I probably would have stood still in the airport, like at the terminal, and just hope for the day to pass because what? What are you trying to tell me? I,
Yeah.
I'm this person who always wants to be prepared. I always want to have the scoop, the download, but it came. It
Wow.
came and we're here. And so I got a name change after taking one flight,
Mm,
got a name change, change of environment, and having to deal with, of course, we spoke about this before, migration and moving from one space to the other, and
yes.
then having to move and shift your mindset from one space to the other. And it's just been interesting to
Yeah.
say the least.
Well, and you keep showing up though for those that don't know real, all these things that when I see you on doing your programs and you're speaking and you're helping people out. It's just like this woman is just like, easy. You're in your space. There's no signs of anything that we go through in life that's holding you back. And then when there are, you share it.
Mhm.
And that's the beautiful thing about that. So, I don't want to say it because I want you to tell the world what happened today too, with all this crazy going on. Tell the world what happened today officially. Mm,
Wow. I have to take an exhale for this one
mm,
because Geoff, 3 weeks ago, I didn't look like this.
yeah,
I didn't want to show up on social media. I didn't want anybody to see me because I was crying. I was weeping. I was in great pain. I was in a very uncomfortable space because 3 weeks ago, I had my interview. It was, of course, on my green card. And I got in there, took a really good shower, did my hair, packed my clothes, put up my clothes on the rack from the night before, got all my documents. My husband and I, we were ready. We
yeah.
all prayed up, we got breakfast, and we got there. And of course, I'm sitting there waiting. They call my name, we get in. I sit down, and all of a sudden, the atmosphere changed. It got very, very tense. And in that moment there was so much emotions and I didn't know what to say, what to do, but I heard the words, I need more documentation from you,
Mm,
we need to get more information. And in that moment, my heart sank because I felt like a failure. I felt like this is going to be it. I felt like what is going to happen next? And then the questions came rolling in. And by the way, this is their job. This is what they are being trained and paid to do. And in that moment, we were told, well, we have to put things on a pause here. And that was it. That was the interview. And I was like, so what happens now?
mm,
What about me looking forward to the fact that my husband took the day off of work? We could probably go and grab something to eat and say, yeah, we approved. And in that moment, I was paranoid. I started to panic because we had like a window of time to get some more documentation in.
yeah.
And talking to you now, I think this is the first time I'm actually processing it in real time
Mm,
because I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. I
mm,
felt I felt I was doing something wrong when I
yeah.
was doing everything right.
Wow.
I felt like my back was against the wall and I did not have a narrative to tell my family and friends
Mm,
post interview because there was nothing to say. And so
mm,
1 week passed. By the way, thankfully, the person was gracious and said,
mm.
"Hey, this is just how we do it." And of course, I know we are on social media here and I don't want to get in trouble with anybody, but of course they had to ask their questions that I'm not even going to say what the questions were. But just imagine I was sitting down there trying to build a case. The actress who couldn't even put on a straight face to say, "Hey, this is legit. This is my husband. Like,
Yeah,
we in this thing for real."
yeah,
And I had to sit there and build a case for a legitimate marriage.
yeah,
And I'm saying to myself, I did not come to this country with the same story as everybody else.
yeah.
And everybody else's story is sacred and I respect it. And I'm saying to myself, wow, this is how it feels.
Mm,
And in that moment, hindsight, I
mm,
had to go through that experience
yeah,
because the individuals I serve, this is a real issue that they face.
right,
This is
right.
a real issue they face, and I cannot resonate or I cannot serve them if I don't really know what that looks like and feels like.
Mm,
So one
mm,
week passed, of course, the place is tense.
mm.
2 weeks passed, I was like, girl, keep your marriage together, keep your mind together. Like, make sure you don't get a ball patch from the stress. Just it just kept on going and going and going and going.
Yeah.
And then 2 days ago, I got this amazing email notification. We have taken an action on your case.
Mm,
I refused to open it because I wanted that moment to be my husband and I opening up that email.
yeah.
And when we got home, we sat down and we said, what it is we could learn from this process, because this, we have a saying in the work that we do, don't waste the wounds. the
Ooh,
wounds the
ooh,
wounds have weight. The
ooh.
wounds have a reason for being, and we are
Mm,
not to waste it. So we
mm,
sat down and we had an honest conversation with ourselves, and I said, I'll be honest, God was trying to humble me there. He did humble me,
mm.
because it's easy to walk around waving your hands, feeling free, the wind in your hair, saying, all right, I'm approved. But
Yeah.
what about the other persons who have just as a legitimate case as you, but for some reason they didn't get through the process.
Mm,
For some reason the system flagged them. For some reason they didn't get through. So what are you trying to say? How are you having the humanity and the compassion for others who have a different story and a different end result and a different outcome? So, in that moment, in the stretch, we talk about building character and capacity. A
mm.
lot of persons, they get coaching and training and consulting, and they lack the character to carry forward the capacity to do the
Yeah.
work. And
Yeah.
in that moment, my husband and I ate a whole slice of humble pie. And we were like, hey,
Mm.
don't mess with what is happening here. You are going to be stretched.
Wow.
You can't be preaching something that you're not living.
Yes.
You
Yes.
can't be like, okay, so in that moment, we learn humility, we learn how to trust God,
Yeah.
and we learn that, hey, there are things designed for you to have setbacks. But thank God we could have conversations with the comeback king and say, hey, we came back, we came out on the other side, and
Mm.
we had nothing to do with it. We
Yeah.
had the best album, glossy pages. I
Yeah.
look my best. We
Yeah.
had all the documentation, but guess what? The system is a system. And one of the most powerful things I heard a coach say to me recently, she said, Candice, which one is stronger, your spirit or a system? Your
Mm.
soul or the
Mm.
system? And
Mm.
I said, you know what? my soul is stronger than the system,
Yeah.
and love will always win
Love
every single time.
every time, right? Because
Woo.
the man you're talking about loves us unconditionally. We've learned how to love from him unconditionally. And Candice, I mean, I just want to take you back for a second because you said something when you talked about humiliated. You talked about embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that was some of the things that they have to ask, or
Mm-hmm.
how the attitude might have made you feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just imagine it being not very friendly, maybe, and not very respectful. And as a matter of fact, I'm in control and you are at my mercy kind of environment. I'll
Yeah.
say it for you, right? She didn't say it to anybody. Listen, I'll say it, and in spite of that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you didn't even talk about. I mean, because the worst case scenario is that things go the other way. Your life changes in all kinds of ways.
In a snap of a finger,
In
in
the
a blink of an eye.
blink of an eye. I mean, you wake up feeling one way, and then in the snap of a finger, in the blink of an eye, your whole world gets upside down. But you didn't. I mean, I believe, and this is what's beautiful about you. I believe if that would have happened, and God bless that it did not, you would still be telling me what you just told. I've been taking notes, right? I always make sure I got two pens when I talk to you. I'm too lazy to go back and watch the whole show, so I want to get all I can, when I do this, right? But you would have been the same way. I believe it. I would believe you
Mm.
were getting the same message.
But you know what happened in that moment too? In all of the lessons, my marriage was tested.
Mm,
My marriage was tested
mm,
because after we walked out that interview, I was ready to take out those blame cards and have
mm,
a list of things to blame my husband for. And I had to struggle to keep my mouth under management
mm,
and say, woman, don't you dare
mm,
destroy this man with your words.
mm.
I'm not gonna lie, I gave him some attitude because I was like, you see, you should have done this way and that way and do this. And the bullets were flying left, right, and center. And I said to myself, Candice, one, these people are trained well because even the actress in me was like, they have straight faces, they can't show any emotion, they have to ask you stuff bluntly because guess what? They are also trying to protect the country too.
That's right.
Whether we like to agree with it or not, they're trying to protect the country.
Yeah.
They're trying to make sure nothing slips through the cracks under their watch, and I get it. This is their job, this is their livelihood, their families on the line. So just as we have things on the line, they have things on the line as well. And
Yes.
it was hard for me to see that because I'm like, can't you see my face? Can't you see, like, I have like wife wrinkles on my forehead? It's been
Wife
2 years, but it's there. And my marriage was under a test. My faith was under a test, and
Mm,
my message was under a test.
mm,
You are telling the world to embrace the stretch. Are you
mm,
embracing the stretch? So that moment when we sat down and we said, what did we learn? We opened the email, we scrolled down, and we said, your case has been approved.
mm.
And in those words, by the way, I did not know my husband was recording us. So while we were opening it, his eyes opened and my mouth opened, and we were like, did this
Yeah.
just happen? But
Wow.
Geoff, something happened that I didn't understand why. I didn't feel like I could have celebrated. I felt
Mm,
numb.
mm,
I felt, God forgive me. I should be grateful, but I'm tired.
mm.
I've been drained from trying to think about what is going to happen next.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't talk about this. They
Yes.
talk about, yeah, we were happy, but
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
the truth of the undercurrent? The
I want to hear about
undercurrent,
the wounds. Yeah. Tell
yeah,
me.
the wound was, I didn't want to be wounded like this.
Mm,
I didn't want to be taken through this embarrassment. But after that night, and after we opened that email, I said, Candice, this work is not about you. and it was
Ooh,
never about you.
ooh.
So you cannot tell the world to embrace the stretch and hope that everything on your in your life is smooth sailing.
Mm.
So everybody gets to have the rough seas, but you get to have the smooth seas.
Yeah,
That doesn't work.
yeah. Nobody wants to hear that anyway, right? I mean, because we're already envious people by nature. We're already negative people by nature. So to hear that just makes it worse, Candice. But I love the fact, and part of what we're talking about here, turning pressure into purpose, right? To me, that's when you folks, you and your husband sat down and said, "Let's don't waste these wounds, the
Mm-hmm.
pressure, the pain, the uncomfortableness."
Mm-hmm.
The uncertainty. I mean, I can go on and on and on about these things, Candice, and then the humanity and compassion and the character and the capacity. Woo-hoo! So, so now and so how will some of this apply into the and I'm not leaving this, we'll stay in this space. But I want to say, so what you shared so far, uh, and the summit, that
Mm-hmm.
stretch that you're doing in the summit. This is, tell us how you see that fitting into people that are facing different or similar situations.
Mm-hmm.
Different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think some people mistake the fact that because we are mature adults, that we know every single thing of how to navigate another milestone in our lives. And that's
Mm,
far from the truth. And the summit that we are having, Embrace the Stretch, is basically to have conversations around the main pillars and milestones that anybody will face in their lives. It's just that it looks different, right? And so we look at mindset, we look at mission,
mm,
ministry, marriage, money, and the new one added to the list is migration, because this is something that is real for a lot of persons. And what I've recognized is that God is not so much concerned about how frequent you get success stories. He's more concerned about the character you're able to build
mm,
while the success story is unfolding.
yeah,
So a lot of persons have the theory, but the practical comes from when we share our testimonies, from when we share our stories,
yeah,
from when persons get to ask us questions.
yeah.
So this summit, we're going to have about 12 speakers, and they're going to each speak on the different pillars in this stretched out life. And we truly believe that when persons realize that, hey, this is what the minds the milestones or the different moments in my life could look like, let me start preparing, let
Yeah.
me start pivoting, let me start planning and praying. And the truth is, a lot of us walk into storms that we know are coming, but we never prepare.
Not prepared.
We're
Left,
not prepared.
left the raincoat at home and the umbrella and everything, walking out in our pajamas. There's a
I
hurricane coming.
I've never seen a soldier go on the battlefield in his sleeping clothes.
Yeah. No.
It just doesn't make sense. So, how are we bridging the gap? We're bridging the gap through conversation, through
Mm,
coaching. Because at
mm,
the summit, we're going to have some hot seat coaching happening.
nice.
And of course, through the sharing of certain concepts. So, the stretched out life and embracing the stretch is a mindset. How do I go through life not being entitled, not thinking I deserve this, but understanding that the struggles and the trials are going to come to make me stronger?
Right. And be focused on the outcome, which is your character being built, stretched, right? Your integrity being built, stretched,
Mm-hmm.
your confidence and all that comes from clarity and having that. So that sounds like a pretty amazing thing. So now, wow.
I see the gears moving in your mind. It's fine. We
Yeah,
always have this challenge when we come to have a conversation together, but it's okay. It's
yeah,
authentic and real.
yeah. I mean, you're just a splendid person to talk to, and the humility and those things are there. So now this is a lot of work you're talking about doing, and in preparation for that. What keeps you on point?
Hmm. My why. My why is that I want to make sure that, well, the main persons that I serve are women, right? But the
Hmm.
summit is open for both men and women. But my main why is that there are too many talented, gifted, beautiful women entering into something as serious and deep as marriage, and they missed a couple of steps. They miss a couple of steps in building the mindset for marriage,
Yeah,
in working on the mission, which is themselves. You are the mission in your single season, and that mission has to be developed and maximized so that you can be prepared for that season of marriage. And then after the mission, the next step is ministry. Who can I serve with the gifts and the talents that I have been given by God so that I could multiply and bear fruit? So that if somebody comes along, they meet me bearing fruit
yeah,
and not meet me just sitting at the wayside like a damsel in distress, hoping to be saved,
yeah.
right?
I
And
like that.
I see too many women go through divorce. Divorce is one of the things that breaks and burns my heart. And I think it's magnified now that I'm in the US, because in the Caribbean is something that is more tabooed. So people will fight through stuff other than leaving
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So this is a new world for me in terms of the amount of times people get married over here. And of course, I don't know what that feels like, because whatever reasons they have, they had to navigate it on their own. But
Right.
I'm saying, let's not have divorce as an option.
Mm.
Let's 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 divorce those ideas and think about what are the decisions I could make today that my future self could
Yeah,
be more prepared to say divorce is not an option.
yeah.
And I
That,
think a lot of people don't have conversations around that.
that's going to be powerful because Candice, my mom and dad were married 44 years before my mom passed, and so the marriage institution is an institution in my eyes, and even with that experience and exposure, I am a divorcee, and I know that, and that's funny you bring that up because I'm actually working on a summit around uh, recovering from divorce and
Mm,
forgiving and healing and all those things. But there'll be some conversations around that opinion by itself. So that'll be interesting to hear how you guys deal with that. But I believe in fighting to the end, and
mhm,
sometimes you surrender and you go your separate way. And so but you're open to all types of positions, which is a
mhm,
beautiful thing about
mhm.
you. But I want to ask you something though, because I love to hear you talk about your marriage and mindset. So you said women before they're married, there's some things, and I know you're going to do it in the summer. But give me one thing. Give us one thing, one little jewel. For,
That's okay. I'll give you some M&Ms, and it's not gonna give you cavities, right? It's not gonna give
a
you
couple
cavities.
M&Ms. I want some nuts in those M&Ms too, right? So
All
they're
right, you
a
get
little
some
crunchy.
ones and stuff with it. What colors you want it to come? All right, cool. So these are the two M's that I believe a single woman should zoom into before marriage.
Mm.
You're not gonna become an expert, but it's something you should already be practicing and preparing. The first M, you ready for it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's called mouth management.
Mm.
Many marriages could have been saved if women practice better mouth management. The second M is money management.
Mm.
And God knows I am still taking that elective and foundational course in the School of Marriage, because I came into this marriage with this mindset that, hey, I just have to show up, work hard, put in the effort, and the money will show up. But that mindset probably would have worked in Trinidad. I'm
Mm-hmm.
in the US of a different currency, a different economy. It's
Yeah.
just different.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest, my first few months of marriage, I was like on a high because I figured out how to use Uber Eats. I figured out Barnes and Nobles, have some amazing books that I want to purchase every single time. And I was just, I think if I be really honest, I was homesick to some
Mm.
extent. So
Yeah.
I was filling all the voids
Yeah.
with all of these things, even though I love my husband and I was on cloud nine, a part of me felt unstable. A part of me felt like a fish out of water,
Yeah.
so the mouth management. No,
Mm.
Geoff, I'm a kind and sweet person. But one thing about marriage, anything that is lurking behind the heart, in the crevices of the heart, in the
Mm.
innermost parts of the heart,
Mm.
marriage extracts it and magnifies it. And there are things in marriage you have to have agreement. So if you're not agreeing on how the money is going to come in and how it's going to go out,
Yeah.
better order your pacemaker from now on. It's going to be tough. And if you don't know how to manage your mouth,
Yeah.
you're going to have some tough nights in the
Ooh.
bed. Like,
Ooh. And
so,
here's the thing, and I know you ladies know this, but I just want to say that y'all are. I'll just speak for me in my marriage. What my wife says about me matters, right? When she says smiles at me, or she says thank you, or she's genuine about something I did, man, I can walk through stone walls if something happens, right?
mm,
Because that's the power of the words of the women that we love, right? And so they have the effect from a loving perspective like that, and they have an effect from the not so loving effect. And fellas act like it. We need to stop acting like it doesn't matter, it doesn't hurt us, it doesn't feel, because that cuts us off from you by doing that. But that's another conversation. But yeah, I love the mouth management, lurking behind the heart. Ooh, the unsaid, the resentments, the frustration.
mhm.
Mm.
Yeah, and I was taking everything out on my husband because of my discomfort of embracing the stretch.
Yeah,
Because of, oh my gosh, when I was in my home country, I knew what the day looked like.
yeah,
I knew what the month looked like. I knew
yeah.
who to go to when I needed extra support. I knew where to go. I knew the best ice cream in town, even though I'm not supposed to be having any ice cream. But you get what I'm saying.
Yes,
So I
yes.
had to learn, and for all these single ladies listening out here, like it's easy to be nice to your boss because that's the person holding your paycheck. It's easy speaking nicely to the people that you serve because you want to keep that image. But when it comes to someone who you have to be ultimately vulnerable with, that's not an easy task. And sometimes you tell them things that sometimes, I don't know, I can't speak for any other woman, but for me as a woman, I have this thing that men could handle it. They could handle it. They are tough,
Mm,
but no, they are human as well.
yeah.
And if words were used to form the world, what type of world you are forming for your husband and yourself to live in?
Ooh,
Just
come
by
on.
your words. And the tongue is like a two-edged sword, right?
Yes,
It
yeah.
could even cut you apart, cut the person apart, or it could sever certain things to help the person heal,
Right.
but in a really kind way. Proverbs talk about the law of kindness is on her lips. And
Um,
sometimes we don't be kind.
no,
We don't be kind.
and know it too, and intentionally do it, and that's another part about it. Patricia Grant saying facts, and Wifey says, "Love you, honey. I love you too, baby."
Oh, hey, you want me move to the side, give you a little time in the screen there.
Well, it's like we have to, look. I did this stuff in peace. I pretended like everything was okay, and words don't hurt me. But sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. It's the biggest lie
Mhm,
told. Because, like you
mhm,
said, it's a double. The words cut like razor,
mhm,
right? And y'all, the women that we choose have so much influence. And you said love, that love piece,
mhm,
and it's I've had to work on being able to
mhm,
talk to you like this and let you know that, man, my heart, if I do something wrong and my wife says something to me, it sticks, right? And because it's that's where my fuel comes from. That's what my
mhm,
purpose is in the relationship, and I have no problem saying it,
mhm.
right? And I love honoring my queens. So, but I'm going to shut up because I want to hear more about where you're going, and time is flying. So, thank you for being so vulnerable and honest
Mm.
about that nugget. I love the mouth management and the money management.
I have to shout out my husband too because I mean to say, he's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, and I know he's going to stumble upon this later on. Nicholas Bailey, thank you for embracing this stretch with me. I know I come with a lot of ideas and creativities, and it's hard to keep me still, and it's hard to just keep me focused. But yeah, God knew what He was doing when He allowed you to be partnered with me.
Yeah,
I really appreciate Him for that. And yeah, that's a picture of us right there.
that's beautiful.
What?
And I've not met him personally, but I mean, I've known you almost so a long time part of your marriage journey anyway, and I could see that that connection, that union is powerful,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I felt him when you were talking about being opening up his eyes and your mouth, or mouth and eyes were being like waiting. I felt him because I can feel his love. Never met him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It shows through you, right? And you talked a little bit about the times you're like, oh man, I didn't think marriage was going to be like this, or this is this, and and my prayer was, man, just hold on, young man, because you've got a queen. And that,
Send that in a voice note, okay? I'll play it for him later.
play it for him later. Don't mess that up. Don't be a
Mm-hmm.
knucklehead. Take it from OG. Plenty of knucklehead times in my life, right? So, but anyway, I appreciate you too, like that. So people were wondering, well, they're not married that long or whatever it is. Y'all are old souls because they're able to communicate tough times. You're able to come together in tough times.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what it's all about. Somebody said a man and a woman under God is the most powerful union ever. I had to learn that the long and hard way. God is a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Patricia Grant, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So, Candice, man, I mean, I want to.
Let God guide.
So you talk about personal development, you talk about God, you talk about love, and why. I mean, obviously, why that's necessary. Tell us, how do you manage all of that without the burnout?
Mm.
As we get to that, and you're busy. I see you doing. I mean, you're doing this great thing, interviewing authors and going through their books together. So guys, be on the lookout for that. That's going to be. I think it started with something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
so not to get off the summit, but that takes work. Is guess what I'm saying? You're doing that. You're doing the summit. You carry the load of uncertainty about your
Mm-hmm.
citizenship, 2 years, and all these things. What's your secret?
Mm. I'll be very honest with you. There are moments when I'm not doing a good job of staying balanced because I, in of my own strength, cannot. Um, I really cannot say anything else other than being anchored in God,
Mm,
being anchored in the Creator, knowing that I have I'm accountable to Him because He made an investment by creating me, and
yeah.
He expects certain returns. He
mm,
expects me to protect this asset of the kingdom. And if I don't protect this asset of the kingdom, it becomes I am now making the kingdom weak
mm,
when it's supposed to remain strong. And so that's from the spiritual standpoint. From the physical standpoint, I like analogies. So, back in the days when the electricity went in the Caribbean, you light a candle.
mm,
And sometimes we wait until the candle dies down, the lights are back. We don't go back to check to see, do we need a new candle?
mm,
Do we need to, replenish? And I think sometimes in life, persons are afraid to rest because they are afraid that if they rest, they will break the momentum. They are afraid that if they rest, they'll be seen as lazy or a procrastinator. So you need to find ways to refuel to avoid the burnout. But what people do, they wait for the burnout to come when the candle is at its end,
mm.
then to refuel. But what are we refueling?
Yeah,
It's going to be difficult. So for me, what keeps me anchored to is my husband. He's the one to say, no, no, no,
yeah.
no. And I'm like, he don't know who I am. Let me try and figure out a way
What do
to
you
get
mean
close.
no?
And he'll be like, Candace, stay focused, because I'm always thinking of the next way to create impact.
Yeah,
I'm always thinking of the next creative way to
yeah,
get another stream of income, to encourage somebody, to impact somebody's lives. And he's like, no, Candace, stay down,
yeah.
stay put. And then he would be like, if you're afraid to tell them, just say my husband said no. I was like,
Yeah, use him for that,
I
right?
was like, yeah, pull the husband card. But anybody who listening, like, yeah, he 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 came in for a reason, because my my ability to submit
Mm,
helps us as an institution stay together as a structure. The
yeah,
Bible says a house divided cannot stand.
that's right.
So when I override the advice and the guidance and the counsel he has given me, I make us weak.
Yeah,
I make us burnt out. So then I can't give to him, he can't give to me.
yes, yes. And I heard the word submit in there, and we both look. I submit also. I mean, submission is not regulated. This is my opinion
It's
to
both ways.
male or female, right? It's about union, and in order to be a union, whatever has to be done has to be done. Christina, yeah, appreciate you stopping in and catch us on the lunch. Hopefully, you can get the replay. So, Candice, you said that in a way that really just simplify, and real, right? And having that balance. But I want, before we leave the burnout, I just want to say also too, because I did a session around the grind, and
Mhm.
grind is kind of like we work to the burnout, because there's one other thing you didn't mention is that we have some work on ourselves that we cover up through the grind that takes us to the burnout. What do you say in that space as we kind of wind this down? What can you speak to that person about?
I believe we need to have more honest conversations with ourselves.
Mm,
And not just the honest conversation, but long, honest conversations. Because I think sometimes we have the honest conversation and we leave that space right before the breakthrough or the revelation of, hey, this is where you need to shift some things around. This is the evaluation. Now, there's a word that somebody taught me some years ago. He said, what is the word you could find from the word stress? And then
mm,
because of time, I'll just sell it out here. He says rest. But how
mm.
do we get to the word rest? We have to eliminate some letters and rearrange some letters.
Wow.
So, in that space of wanting to fill our schedule with activity to avoid facing the stuff that we need to address that takes us to the burnout, we need to ask ourselves, what are some of the things I could eliminate? There are certain tasks that we get involved in. They are not goals that leads to the bigger picture.
Right.
They're just things that we tick off and said, hey, I accomplished this. But
Right.
how is it benefiting to the bigger picture? And then what are some of the things I could eliminate?
That's
And
right.
it's not that I'm trying to like, you know, I don't even know how to say it, but elimination is wisdom. It's a
Yeah.
wise move
Yeah.
because I'm saying I'm moving things up to the side to make room for other things.
Yeah.
And we don't know how to exit certain seasons in a healthy way. So we
Oh,
could enter certain seasons in a helpful way.
yeah. I love that. Elimination is wisdom. You know, and I was, as you were talking, I was thinking about people make to-do lists, but I started to do from my coaching a not to-do list, the things not to do, you know,
Oh,
an elimination. And
that is
from that,
interesting.
yeah, gain back time, gain back peace, gain back, you know, that reflection time, you know, and so I love how you said that. So listen, wow, I kept you longer than I should have, so I'm going to keep you for a couple more minutes. So tell us what you we talked a lot about some things. Well, how do you want to close this up? What couple things can you share with us to close this up
Yeah.
and
I
ask
want to
you?
tell I want to tell persons that you don't some of the things that we are thinking about achieving in a 5-year period, we could actually achieve it in less time if
Mm,
we truly believe in what we are doing and we get the support that we need.
mm,
And embracing the stretch is there's the big book 10x is better than 2x.
mm.
And I am encouraging persons to not just say, well, I will leave that for next year. It's so serious. My patois came out there. Yeah, I will leave that for next year, or I don't see this happening this year. You don't know what you seeing happening. Because
Yeah,
2 years ago on this day, I did not see marriage happening
yeah,
so soon in the same year.
yeah.
So we don't have that time to think, okay, this is my 5-year plan. This what I yes, I believe in stretching things out, giving yourself the time and to build capacity. But what if the things that you are dipping into and not completing, starting and never finishing? What if you could be a part of a community that will give you the guidance and the support and the accountability to achieve a series of things in a
Mm,
shorter space of time in an effective manner because we have been there,
yeah,
because we have walked that journey before.
yeah.
So the embrace the stretch at the end of the summit, we are going to support persons along the journey. And of
Mm,
course, you all are hearing it first here, right? On
yes,
Conversations with Geoff.
yes,
And Geoff, we are going to take women through a process. Esther took 1 year, 12 months to prepare for the king.
yes,
And some women, they don't take 1 year to prepare for the king. They're just going through life in the hope that the king will show up one day.
yes,
But we're going to take women through a process.
yes.
And that process, they are going to achieve the things that they have always been talking about, but
Mm,
achieve it in a strategic, systematic, and intentional manner. And I cannot wait to serve them. And
yeah,
that's all I will say for now. But we have had women been able to speak their story, share their story, write their stories,
mm,
and then enter into that space that they never thought existed so that they could be the better version of themselves or the stretched version of themselves. So we are looking forward to the summit and we're looking forward to the fact that, hey, even you showing up to that summit, you are telling your mind, your brain, your body that you are so deserving of so much more and
yeah.
you are valuable and there's so much to tap into, but we just need to stretch.
Mm. Wow. And ladies, let me just add something to that from a male perspective. All of those things that Candice is talking about, this is what I believe is getting, it all feels you. So the stronger you are, the better you are as that woman, then you're going to find yourself with options that you didn't think you had in the
Mhm.
past. And the right person comes along when you're prepared.
Mm-hmm.
right? And you won't accept the nonsense. You won't have the crazy. I mean, all that heals on. So anyway, I want to just be quiet because I love what you're doing. And this conversation has been phenomenal, Candice. So I think we have your information in the chat. And one of your girls said, "Hey, I'll have to call you later." And yes, I'm in the summit again. So she's someone that's actually looks like has been there before. So we can get a hold of you, Candice. Tell us goodbye in the only way you can do that. We'll let you
I want to say this. We don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. We know who holds tomorrow, but I just want you to promise yourself that you're not going to run from the stretch, but you're going to embrace it with arms wide open and know that on the other side of it, your future self is going to thank you for it. And I want to say, I appreciate all the women in the community and the men supporting these women through personal development. And I want to say, Geoff, you have continued to embrace the stretch. You have continued to show up. You have continued to go through some dark seasons that people get to see the light because you stuck through it. So I just want to say thank you for another amazing conversation. And I want to remind persons that don't be afraid of going through the process. There will be pain, but process the pain so that you could walk straight into purpose and live a life that you, your friends, your family, and your unborn children could thank you for. That's what I want to share.
With that, hugs from way out here virtually for all the different reasons. Ken, that was beautiful. Oh, yes. Come on, man. And we'll see you again on another Conversations with Geoff. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, hey, there you go. I mean, make sure you call your friends up. Y'all should have a party around this session and play this session over and over again. And you ladies out there that know you're meant for more, you fellas out there that are looking for ladies that know that they are meant for more, everybody can gain some things from this. What a peaceful soul. What a loving soul. Oh, man, this has been a blast for me. So there's so many things, but believe me what she said. Embrace the stretch. Stand in the crap and know that the gift truly comes from the comeback. And watch us thinking. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great show today. And as always, don't let nothing stop you from reaching your destiny. You shall not be denied. I tell you that. I'm going to say it one more time. Let's say it together. We will not let anything stop us. No, we will not let nothing stop us from reaching our destiny. We shall not be denied. Stop that thinking. Let us flip that switch and change the conversation you're having with yourself about yourself. And finally step into your greatness. And this message today can help you do that. Appreciate everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Conversations with Geoff International. Have a great day. Take care.